So there's a phenomenon that a lot of people talk about of finding a past version of yourself cringe. As you sort of grow and develop in life, you learn more about life. It's very easy to reflect on old versions of yourself and think, God, it's so embarrassing that I used to be like that. You look back at how you acted in a situation and you kind of cringe. And I've had this a lot myself. I look back on past versions of myself, and in the past I did sort of cringe at myself quite a lot. Like I remember when I first got onto self-improvement, I started sort of cringing at myself when I was at uni, just because I felt I was very undisciplined. I was, not really living a very healthy life, whatever. And, when I was at uni, I guess I looked back on previous versions of myself as a bit more lame, a bit more, I don't know, less extroverted, whatever. And then, more recently, I've sort of looked back on versions of myself when I was on self-improvement and actually cringing at that, thinking like, why is this guy so serious? Why is he needs to relax a bit, So you get what I mean? I know this feeling of having past versions of yourself that you sort of cringe at. But if you ask me if I get this at the moment, I'd honestly say no. I don't. I look back at myself 6 months ago and I don't really cringe at myself. And I have learned a lot of lessons. Like, don't get me wrong, I was a very different person 6 months ago. And if I was presented with the situation that I was presented 6 months ago, I would act differently and I'd probably act better, right? But that doesn't mean that I have to cringe at past versions of myself. And what I've realised is if you're cringing at past versions of yourself, I think a lot of it comes down to kind of a lack of self-love, a lack of acceptance of yourself. And the truth is, like I was watching this video recently that was talking about this, the truth is most people are quite cringe. Like, it's kind of in human nature, and this might sound weird what I'm about to say, but like, think about music. When you really think about it, if you really listen to music, it's kind of quite cringe, There's or dancing, there's something about humans that is just naturally quite cringy anyway. And it's kind of an unavoidable fact of life. And I saw this quote one time that said, "Don't kill the part of you that cringes. That is cringe. Kill the part of you that cringes." And I really like that quote. I think it's really interesting. And the point I'm getting at is, if there's a past version of yourself that you're kind of cringing at, I mean, there's nothing really you can do about it in a sense. So, really just be at peace with it. But recognise that you don't have to feel that way, and that really it's better if you don't feel that way. And you weren't wrong for being cringy back then, but you're wrong for finding your past self cringe now. And it's very liberating when you realise this, because you just start living more freely. Because the problem you always have with looking at past versions of yourself being cringe is you're going to think, well, the me in 6 months' time in the future is going to find me now cringe, and that can be quite a sort of unpleasant feeling. But when you just accept who you really are and you're at peace with it, then it's very liberating, and I think it's the best way to live. So yeah, anyway guys, thanks for watching as always. Top link in the description if you're interested. I'm doing some one-on-one coaching at the moment. Be great to hear from you, but otherwise, see you in the next one.